Hello, and welcome back to the final session of Hearts of Wulin, the Romance of the Golden Dragon. We're joined tonight by a new player and several returning players. So what I'm going to do is, at the start, we're playing on the Gauntlet, and as we're on the Gauntlet, there are certain safety tools we use here. Predominantly tonight, we're going to be using the X card. What that means is if at any point problematic material comes up, or something you're not happy with, or something that takes away your fun from the game, you can make an X on camera, make an X in the chat, or just say, I'd like to X card that. At that point, we'll draw back the scene. I may ask for a little bit of context into what the actual problematic material is. We will redress the scene and then move on without it. So we do have some new player in tonight and some returning players. So I'm going to go left from right with the existing players and ask them just to give a little bit of a brief introduction to their characters. And then we'll have our new player come in and actually give us Paul and give us a little bit of an introduction to his. So, Agatha, can you tell us about Traceless, please?
Yeah, Traceless, or Wuhan, is an aware. She recently sort of resolved some of the issues that came with the massacre of her sect, which is the what are we called? Give me one sec. Oh yes, the Eastern Dragon Temple, which is apparently a Taoist temple. I googled it, and that is actually a thing. So, she's encountered a lot of issues along the way. Like, her friend was not exactly as presented. Said they were a man, turns out they're a woman. And then someone that she was in love with, she's got beef with their dad. That beef has now passed, but now she's got beef with the person that she thought she was in love with. Turns out the person is also not exactly who she thought they were. So I think she's like encountering a lot of issues. I had hoped for her to be kind of a more wiser character, but I think circumstances are not allowing for that.
Well, this is melodrama after all, so you don't get very many wise characters in melodrama. It tends to be all high emotions. That's brilliant. Alan, can you tell us a little bit about Wellworn Ling, please?
Wellworn Ling began the game as a fairly happy-go-lucky traveler with the Righteous Brotherhood of the Road, but he was forced to be engaged to the daughter of who I now think of as the big bad, Merciless Scorpion of the Unfettered Frost faction, while thinking he was in love with their sister, Hateful Spider. He didn't know that he'd met his intended because she was dressed as a man. And the woman he thought he was in love with, the sibling, was a man dressed as a woman. And in the last session, he thought he'd resolved this by actually discovering a deep and heartfelt love for Wu Hen, Traceless, which he handled rather badly. He was rather despondent, but ended the game having been kidnapped by Unfettered Frost, presumably to be married to one of the siblings who survives. So he is currently in the castle of the Unfettered Frost, wondering what's going to happen next.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alan. And Walter, it's been a while since we've seen you. Can you tell us a little bit about Ming Starfall, please?
Absolutely. So I decided I'm gonna give kind of the gist of Ming Starfall and leave one or two of the details out, because we might want to retcon some of the actual NPCs and stuff we had agreed on before. So the overview of Ming Starfall is Ming Starfall is a prodigy. So she is very powerful, but her power is not always that well controlled, and sometimes that is results in comedic and other times tragic situations. She's very I think she kind of wears her emotions on her sleeves, although in keeping with the genre conventions, her emotions are obtuse in the sense that I don't think she's aware of her emotions, but she's like very like emotionally expressive, and that also is in line with her style and other things about her. So that is her. She was she's young and was taken away from her family at a young age. Apparently, her brother was involved with some other people in basically abducting her, where she was then trained because she was recognized as a prodigy. So she has this secret group who can help her and give her aid when needed as well. This group that trained her. That is Ming Starfall.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And now, our new player, Paul.
Hello.
Would you tell us a little bit about your character, Unending Sky Zan?
Yes, I'm playing Unending Sky Zan, an outsider. I'm an unkempt commoner by looks, very well-travelled, and he's quite aged. He's definitely no spring chicken. I've been about a lot, travelled to many provinces, many countries possibly, and yeah, that's... Oh, I'm a member of Drifting Blossom, so I have some theatrical skills, and I'm currently... I've left my previous troupe, and now I'm travelling to seek inspiration for new works of art.
Excellent, thank you. Now, one of the things every character gets in this game are 2 entanglements that are there to make their lives difficult, to drive the story and to actually drive the interaction between people. Normally we would set these up in the first session, but as this is your first session, I believe we need to do yours.
Indeed.
So have you decided upon which of those entanglements you would like from your playbook?
Yeah, for the romance one, I've gone with I love somebody who I overlooked for too long. Now they love somebody else.
Okay. And do you have any idea who you loved and overlooked?
Yes, I think I love Wu Hen, but now they love Well-Worn Ling.
Okay, can I just hop on this before this train goes any further? I need to change mine. That has to do with my character being in love with Well-Worn Ling.
Okay.
I don't think that's the case no more. I mean, if you want to keep it that way and just like have that be your character's assumption, I think maybe that's doable. I don't really know, but it's not objectively true.
Even though you left the last session saying on the trees that you were indeed in love with him.
Listen.
Talk's cheap.
Emotions can change.
Talk's cheap.
Well-Worn Ling is very patient.
But anyway.
Well, can I'll just offer Paul that everybody seems to love Well-Worn Ling, so I think Unending Sky being into Well-Worn Ling was just like, seems like a natural fit given what's happened so far in the story.
Now this is going to the province of harem anime, so
okay, so the thing is, I was actually gonna change mine to the exact same one, the exact same entanglement, but I will not. So the one I love so and so who I overlooked for too long, but now they love so and so. What is your playbook again, Paul?
I'm the outsider.
Outsider. Okay, maybe I'll just pick one from the outsider. Oh, maybe I'll just pick the I fled from so and so because of the heartache, but so and so called me back to honor a debt. So I fled from Well-Worn Ling because of the heartache. Someone is.
That'll work.
Well, there is news in the Wulin world that he is getting married.
That is a true story. I will change mine to that then. Okay, so then that works.
Okay.
Sorry.
So going back to Paul's. So how are we resolving Paul's entanglement for this? So at the moment it reads, I love Wu Hen, who I overlooked for too long, but now they love Well-worn Ling. How are we still having that in place? Does Wu Hen still have some feelings for him, or is that just totally?
I guess we could keep it that way. I think this
It doesn't have to be true at this point, does
that's
it?
what I was saying.
He just has to believe it to be true.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've been away for some time, so things change.
Excellent. And what's your second entanglement?
I have discovered my friend so and so has hidden their true power from me, but told another friend.
Okay, so who do you have in mind for that, or would anyone like to step forward for that?
I think Ming Starfall's true power is often not appreciated by people who don't know her well. So that might work out.
Brilliant. And Paul, do you have any idea who the other person who Ming Starfall told was?
I think they told Wu Hen.
Okay.
Cool.
So Wu Hen, Ming Starfall has a prodigy move, which basically allows them to roll to fight, but they can do mass amounts of damage as a result of collateral damage as a result of this.
Okay.
So how?
Go ahead.
So how do you two? How do you and Walter? How do you two foresee that as having come forward? What's the story behind that? Do you think?
Go ahead.
I can imagine that at some point I got into a conflict and caused a lot of collateral damage, and Wu Hen had to come help clean up the mess. And she was there to witness my power going, being out of control and having unintended consequences.
Okay, so what did you destroy?
A tea house, which no longer exists. It's pretty much rubble now.
Are you okay with that, Agatha?
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it. I'm just thinking like, so then we must have been like traveling together. That's how we like know each other. And I was wondering if I could suggest to Paul, then maybe for his entanglement, you can put, instead of Well-worn Ling, you can put Ming Starfall for the romantic one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, now you love Ming Starfall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ming Starfall loves Well-worn Ling, right?
Let's see. Let's see.
Because that's how it should work.
Well, let's see. Right now, I have hidden my true identity from Well-worn Ling because of my past with someone that Well-worn Ling hated.
Oh, I see.
Who never, but that was an NPC that I don't think came back. That
Right,
was like an NPC that we created during the session 0, so to speak.
Okay.
So we could probably switch that up. And then, well, I won't get into my entanglements yet, but I'm gonna have to do a bunch of redo. I think 3 of my 4 names in my entanglements.
Okay.
So yeah, I need to change mine too. Anyway.
Okay, so can we let's just finalize Paul's entanglements before we move on. So Paul,
yep.
How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that, or is there? Do you have any other ideas that you would like to suggest instead?
No, I'm happy to roll with that. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So, having said that, I'm going to go around each of the remaining, the returning players, and ask them if there's any of their entanglements they'd like to change. Agatha, we've already come across one you wanted to change.
Yeah, I changed my romantic one.
Okay.
But I also need to change my because that one involved. I feel like that issue was resolved. Actually, it's like, oh, I'm in love with Well-worn Ling, but I got beef with his dad, and that beef has been resolved, like I stated. So I changed it again. Romantic is now. I fled from Lauren Ling because of the heartache, but so-and-so, their lover, has called me back to honor a debt. Who is Lauren Ling's lover?
They go by the name of Unforgiven Fox. Sorry, Unforgiven Viper. I keep on doing that. I keep on doing that.
Unforgiving Viper, who used to be, who I knew as Le
Fulan.
That girl's such a snake. Okay.
But
I mean,
he did reveal his true identity, didn't he?
Yes.
So you know that.
Yeah.
Who she really was.
I do know now, and I still saved her life. Okay. Anyway, that's great. I'll write that in. I'm not going to type it in right now because my keyboard is super loud. And then the other one is I need to change my normal entanglement as well. Because I suspect my friend Le Fulan's parents, the villain, Merciless Scorpion. Obviously, now I know who she is, so I have to change that. And also, she's not here. I mean, Lloyd's not here, so. I was looking at a bunch of these. Again, Paul, you stole the one that I wanted. Which I won't hold against you. I mean, any of these could be interesting, I guess. Like, does anyone have another sibling? I took part in a crime against so-and-so, my friend's so-and-so sibling.
Oh, so there was, that actually sounds familiar to one I had before with Unforgiving Viper. So my brother sold me to the organization that then like trained up my power for their use. And so I was basically abducted as a small child. So if you wanted to take over that role, we could retcon that you were involved in that.
Okay, well, so it's like I took part in a crime against my friend's sibling.
Oh, your friend's sibling. Okay.
Yeah. So then it would.
So maybe it was okay against your friend's sibling. Oh, okay. Yeah. So your friend would be my brother who like basically gave me away.
I think we named him, didn't we? Isn't there Zun?
Oh, so
Zun Starfall.
Wait. I thought, okay, my friend would be one of the PCs, and then, that's really interesting.
But also Zun Starfall hasn't really, I mean, well, he hasn't appeared since the very first scene. He was in the opening scene of the whole show, and then he hasn't come back as far as I know.
Not yet.
So who did I?
Okay. Well, it was Zun Starfall who first instigated getting Le Fulan to steal the golden saber. That was the opening scene of this whole series.
Okay, so did I wreck them or did I wreck you?
Wait. So what exactly is it? You wrecked the.
Okay, I took part against someone who is my friend's sibling. So who is my friend in this situation, and who?
So your friend would be Zun Starfall.
But aren't we friends? Didn't you tell me your biggest secret?
Well, I mean, but that's the great thing about these entanglements, right? Like now we're friends, even though before, I was unaware that before you basically abducted me or arranged my abduction to this group that trained me up, and then you met me later on. Who knows under what pretense? I guess you only know why you befriended me later, and you're the only one who knows that you abducted me in the beginning.
Sorry, can I just clarify who abducted you now?
I'm
using Dragon this.
Yeah. So originally that was Le Fulan, and now we're saying maybe it was Traceless Wuhen instead.
So I abducted you?
When I was a child. When I was very young. When I was very young, my power was very apparent, and this organization wanted me to like train me up to serve them. And so with the help of my brother, your friend, Zun Starfall, you arranged to abduct me and sell me off to this organization, basically.
Okay. That makes sense.
Sounds good to you.
Actually, I think I probably abducted you for the temple that I...
Oh, okay. That was the other thing is, like, it wasn't clear. We didn't play long enough for it to be clear what faction I belonged to. So we could... I mean, I would be okay with maybe I was trained up by the Eastern Dragon Temple at some point, or some other organization. I don't know.
Because the reason why I'm suggesting my faction is because we established last session that my teacher is like evil AF. So, and she kind of just like wants there to be chaos. She's like, anyway. So I can totally.
And I'm all
see-
about chaos. That makes sense.
So, yeah, I can see her being like, oh, there's someone who could be really powerful. Let's like mess things up in Jianghu by like kidnapping this kid and stirring up more trouble, which doesn't actually make sense, but it's fine. She's dead now. Okay, how do you spell your brother's name?
It's under my story, Zun, X-U-N.
Oh, X is pronounced SH, so like Shin.
Oh,
Yes.
Shun. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the mispronunciations, and the words would just get entirely wrong. So, okay, so with that being done, Alan, are there any of the well-worn Ling? Sorry, we've got a Ming and a Ling again. So if I get it wrong, I do apologize. Are there any of well-worn Ling's entanglements you'd like to change?
No, none at all. No, well-worn Ling knows what he's about now, finally.
Brilliant. And finally, Ming Starfall. Are there any of your entanglements you'd like to change?
Yes. So let's see. I have one, which is I have hidden my true identity from well-worn Ling because of my past with, and we put Feng Orchid, who I don't think ever came up except in discussion of the establishing these. So maybe I should replace Feng Orchid with someone like an NPC or someone who's already consequential. Do you have a suggestion?
There is the engagement of my father, Iron-Faced Bison, with Wu Hen's trainer, who she abducted you for. So could we reuse that mistress of the Temple of the Eastern Dragon?
Wait, engaged to the mistress. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was. Let's see, but she died a long time ago, right? 5 years ago. Is that right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So here's an interesting thing. I have this special move, which well, it doesn't have to be entangled with this. We can figure that out. Never mind. So yeah, I'm fine with that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So okay, so then in my past with, what was her name again? The mistress.
Wuing. Wu-ing, which I'm probably mispronouncing again, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
English speaker. No excuse, I know, but
and then okay. And then my other one I should totally replace. I like the overall gist of it. It's my romantic entanglement, but I'll need to replace the names. I still pursued Black Fox Jiang, who rejected me despite the interference of Lei Fulan, who holds an unrequited love. So let's see. I think it makes sense to replace two of those names with Wu Hen and Unending Sky. Yeah.
okay. And do those characters have any preference about which way around they want them? Would prefer those to be?
So one of you I'll pursue, and the other will have unrequited love for me.
Hang on one moment. Agatha, are you there? That would be a no then. I think
Right.
Agatha's gone AFK for a few moments.
Yeah.
So,
well, Paul, what do you think? Would you like to be someone who rejected me, but I still pursue you, or would you like to have an unrequited love for me?
Yeah, let's go for the pursue one.
So I'll pursue you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that actually kind of agrees with one of Wu Hen's. So Wu Hen, would you like to have a unrequited love for me?
Yes. I think that's
and you
accurate.
would, and then you would be interfering. So now my romantic entanglement is I still pursue Unending Sky, who rejected me, despite the interference of Wu Hen, who holds an unrequited love. Oh, actually, that actually kind of reads for that's someone holds an unrequited love for the same person who rejected me. I think I misread that.
What?
Actually, I guess it's ambiguous who the unrequited love is for.
Yeah, it is ambiguous.
Yes.
And I think it was left that way on purpose because I asked
Yeah,
Lowell about it before.
I do
All right.
agree.
Okay, then let's just put that in, and it'll take the shape that it takes.
But I do have it works with mine because.
And at this point, maybe things that work together are better than like having like ridiculously complicated things. Yeah, let's go with that. I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, we've got the shape of the game. Would anyone like to take a few minutes break and come back at 10 minutes to the hour, and then we'll get started on the session?
Sure.
Brilliant. Oh.
While we're just waiting, Gerwin, I've got a couple of chi marked from last time.
That's right. Would you like to clear those?
Okay.
Because you've been well tended to while you've been asleep.
Okay.
Also, traceless. I'm going to say enough, and Ming, I'm going to say enough time has passed in between sessions that you can clear your chi. Hey, so we'll start when Walter gets back.
Paul, I love the picture that you chose. I love that actor so much.
I must admit, I haven't seen any films he's been in. Is he good?
I mean, so his earlier stuff was like where he was. I think he got really big from playing adaptation of this video game, actually, where he played like a wacky character. But then he was like his role was solidified when he was in this one show called Nirvana and Fire, and that's the one where it's like all politicking and it's like a revenge story. It's pretty good. The graphics in the beginning are like really bad, but it's CGI, Chinese CGI. It's always bad. But the story's pretty good.
Oh, excellent.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I've been watching Everything Gold Must Go, and certainly the CGI for these cityscapes that they do there has been.
Oh yeah, that show is so good.
Oh, I'm loving it. I really am. It's paying for the Amazon Prime subscription by itself, and there's so many episodes of it as well.
Yeah, that's a problem with Chinese shows. They keep getting longer.
It's the problem I have with a lot of other media I follow, especially things like anime. There's certain shows I won't touch because they're up to 200 odd episodes, and it just never catch up by the time the new stuff's airing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Walter, I was just saying I've cleared your chi, because I'm going to say that enough time has passed between your last session and now that you've managed to heal, managed to ground yourself, and everything going forward.
Just two things I want to throw out, which maybe we'll ignore depending on how they fit in. But the first session, well, I have a move just to throw out there that a secret group or order aids me. Let's see. You may not be aware of their assistance, but once per session, you can flash back to some preparation, interference, or negotiation they've done on your behalf. So at this point, it's not clear who that organization might be, but I just wanted to throw out that I have that move. And then again, we could probably just gloss over it, but I was present at the bandit raid where the golden dragon was originally thought to have been stolen. And then I just kind of disappeared. So what happened to me might be an interesting flashback, but I have no idea if you had any thoughts on that.
Actually, I think that's a quite a neat place to start the start tonight. So I think we'll actually start with a flashback to the bandit raid. So in the middle of the camp, and fighting is going on. You're squaring off against the lead bandit, who's a dashing young man who's incredibly well groomed for someone who lives out in the middle of the desert with very, very soft skin and very obviously wearing a decent amount of makeup, which all the bandits have out here. And you're in the middle of the fight. The duel goes back and forth. It seems very well placed for you. You fight back and forth, and it seems like you're almost synchronizing.
It becomes like a dance.
Yes, more of a dance. And I think at some point, you've actually find yourself fighting on the woodwork over the well that's at the oasis where you were camped. And I think something happens, and the piece of wood that you're standing on breaks, and you fall into the well itself with him coming down with you. So time passes, and you awake hours later in a cave underground. There's very little light here, and there's a drip, drip, drip of water.
I look around. Where am I?
You're in a large underground cavern. There's stalactites dropping down stalactites coming down from the. Is it mites? Mites is down, tights is up, or
Yes.
Yeah.
Stalactites.
okay? The stalagmites descended from the ceiling, and there's little drops of water down over a crystal clear lake. The bandit, you can see the bandit you were fighting out in the middle of the lake, where there's an island, and on the middle of the island. Okay, stalagmites hanging down. Then I can never get that right. And on the island, you can see that there's actually there looks to be some sort of structure there, and you can see that he's burst open the top of something and going through it.
I go over to investigate. How do I look? Do I look like this is where I landed?
Well, you're not quite sure how you got here. Your clothes were wet. It looks like you've actually washed up on the banks of this underground lake.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will go over to the bandit and investigate what the bandit is doing.
Okay, so how are you?
I imagine it's water. Am I going to have to swim over there?
Oh no, we have wire food here. We have.
Oh right, I can walk on the water.
Well, not so much walk as a bounce step by step by step.
Yeah.
So
yeah, actually, I have. I'm imagining that I shake out my billowy silk robes like a butterfly. I shake some of the water from them, and then I use them. I kind of almost like a glider to help me like glide a little bit through the air as I tiptoe across the water.
Okay, so the camera cuts to you, and it's like these billowing wings out behind you as you come across, and it actually cuts to the bandit on the structure on the island, and he looks up as you just glide up behind him. What do you do when you reach him?
Well, what was he doing? You said he's looking through a structure.
Oh yes, it looks to be some sort of shrine built on the island itself. So a small little, it's almost like a small little covered area with sarcophagus in it.
Oh. I say it is best not to disturb a shrine to someone. I hope you had no ill intent, bandit.
He spins and draws his butterfly daggers. This is no business of you. This is mine. I found this. Stay away.
You make everything your business. I deny that. No. What is this? I look at the temple. Can I tell what it is?
Can you roll a steady roll, please?
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have
Yeah, roll for your parties on the.
There it is.
Should be on the basic.
Okay.
Basic appears to have moved.
Oh, that's right. I think. Oh wow! I even still have my dice here. Yay! Nobody took my dice away. All right. Ta-da! All right. Well, I rolled a 5, but I didn't think about what I might use as a chi for that.
Okay. So can you?
I probably should have chosen that beforehand. So this is a steady move. I mean, that would probably be like presence or something. That would be earth, which I wouldn't have enough on. So I rolled a 5.
Okay, so this looks to be a ancient structure. It looks like it's been here for at least 1,000 years. There's writing on it that you can't really see much of. It looks like it's worn down over time as the tides have rose and settled at this underground lake.
Okay, I say this is clearly an ancient shrine. Someone may be buried here. There may be someone's ancestors here. This must be preserved and protected.
Nonsense. They've hid something here. They wouldn't go to.
Who?
Someone has hid something here. They wouldn't go to this trouble unless there was a treasure inside.
Well, then it's their treasure, not yours. Now, together we might be able to get out of here. That's what you should be turning your mind to. Let us get out of here. Let us be free of this place.
He looks at you. He looks at the sarcophagus. He looks at you. No way am I sharing what's in there. No way at all. And he comes at you with his butterfly daggers.
All right. I tiptoe away from him, putting my silk in front, tangling up his daggers as I go, and I say, neither of us will take what is there. We will not share it, but we will escape this place together. If you disturb that sarcophagus, you will be cursed. You will be trapped here with your treasure forever.
You just want my prize. Get away, witch. And he swipes at you, and you're clearly superior to him. Your scale is definitely above his, so you're going to win this fight. But how well you win it is up to you.
Okay. So let's see. I also have a move. When you defeat an enemy, you may humiliate them comically if you show them mercy. Let's see. You don't mark XP if instead you gain a bond with them. You may choose a group that now views your opponent in a different way. So I think I'd like to use that if I can. And I think what I'd like to do is mark him in a way that that would humiliate him in front of the other bandits, and maybe take his butterfly knives away from him, like tie up. I'm imagining that I dance around him for a while, and I tie up his limbs, and he ends up dropping his butterfly knives, and he just ends up getting tangled up in my excessive silk robes. Okay. And then I just leave him there, kind of. Yeah.
Walter, what I'd like you to do before we go into that, could you please roll a duel for a opponent that's below you?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm already getting a step ahead. Yes, I will roll that. So let's see, and that would be with my.
You get
that
3.
Would be with.
That's with your style chi, but you also get to roll 3d6 and choose the 2 you want to use.
Oh, great. Okay.
Your prodigy ability.
Awesome. So then let's see. So there's 1, and I'll reroll these 2. Wow! I've managed to roll a 3, even rolling 3 dice.
Okay.
I got done with 2 and 2 ones.
The good news here is you do win.
Uh-huh.
You do mark your style chi, please.
Okay.
And because you rolled a 3, I believe there's another part of the prodigy move that comes into effect.
Oh, right.
Can you read what that is, please?
Yeah. So, prodigy, you have great power, perhaps beyond your ability to control. You may be untrained, cursed, or gifted with these techniques. When you roll your style elements, let's see, 3d6. However, when you miss or when paying costs for partial success, you additionally cause collateral damage to the environment or people. So I cause collateral damage. Oh, I think I know where that's going.
I think what happens is while you're fighting him, you tumble him up, you catch him up, and bang, he goes flying into the shrine. And I think he shatters it. I think he goes through the sarcophagus and tumbles over the other side, and the entire thing falls apart. Boom! And there's a cloud of dust and that settles in the air and falls down. And he's just tied up because you have defeated him, so you can use that other move if you want. But
okay.
He's just lying there tied up over the remains of the sarcophagus.
Wow. So I am still inclined to do something to humiliate him, but now I'm really concerned about the sarcophagus. So first, I'd like to assess that. Can I like, can I learn something new about the sarcophagus now that it is
Can you roll study?
destroyed? Yeah. All right. So this time I will roll with. Let's see. Well, I can't use water. I'll roll with. I'll roll with patience with wood, and so my top 2 dice. All right, I got a 8.
Okay, and on an 8, I believe you get to hold one and ask one of those questions, or declare a fact if you wish to.
Okay, so ask a question about a person, motivations, intentions. Learn about a situation or place, or reveal a detail. So the detail I want to add is that this shrine belonged to a great warrior long ago who protected this oasis where we are camped and the bandits raided us, and that it, when they spent their whole life dedicated to protecting this place and making it a place of peace, and after they passed away, they buried them here so that his power would remain a power of protection over this oasis.
Excellent. So, as the sarcophagus is smashed open, you find a body, a mummified corpse on the inside, clasping a saber covered in cloth. In his other hand, he's holding something wooden. It looks to be like some sort of scroll. Well, an engraved piece of wood with some writing on.
Well, my curiosity has gotten the better of me. I'm going to look at the scroll.
You look at the scroll and you blow off the dust from it, and the scroll looks only a few hundred years old. But as you read it, it reads, when the son of the frozen scorpion comes to the high mountain and takes the seat of his father, a darkness will pass on to the land. It looks to be a prophecy of form.
Yeah. Wow. That is really important then, that there's a prophecy in here. All right, then I'm going to take the scroll.
Okay.
I look at the...
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I look at the blade. Is there something significant about it? Maybe I want to study the blade as well. I guess I'm wondering, if it seems like a normal blade, then maybe I'll leave it. But I'm wondering if there's something that would compel me to take it with me as well.
You pick the blade up and you notice its hilt is in the shape of a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
As you blow the dust off it, you see a glint of gold from underneath. And as you draw the blade, the room reflects into a golden light.
Wow. So there's something special about this blade for sure.
Yes. Have you ever heard of the golden dragon saber?
The golden dragon saber. That is the saber that's iron. What is this? Iron claw raven. Iron
wing crane.
Iron wind crane wields. But wow, could this be? I guess perhaps I'm wondering if this could be Iron Wind Crane who is buried here. Maybe I don't know enough details of who and what Iron Wind Crane is.
Iron Wind Crane is the He's known as the King of the Mountain.
Right. Is he well known to be still the King of the Mountain? Would I know that, or maybe I'm not aware?
He has retired recently and given up his sword.
Yeah. So as a player, I know that. I guess I'm asking, would my character necessarily know that?
Well, everyone in the Wulin would know that. So yes,
Okay.
Your character would definitely know that.
Okay. Wow. Then this totally blows my mind. So then, yeah, then I'm gonna take it with me. Okay. So yeah, I'll take the scroll and the saber with me. And this crazy bandit guy here. So I'm gonna then, given the situation with all of this, I'm going to use my humiliate to try and humiliate him in such a way that, well, first of all, does it look like there's an easy way out of here? I need to get out of here at some point. But let's say when I eventually get out of here, let's not worry about that.
As you look up, you can actually see that there is sunlight coming in from a point up amongst the stalag, whatever.
So it's probably a way to get out of here. My thought is, what I'd like to do is to get out of here. Maybe the bandits have already left by now. It seems like we've probably been here a while. But to get out of here and to basically make this guy look crazy. Like maybe like take all of his clothes and just like dress him in like one of my most like feminine sheer silk scarves is the only thing he'll have to wrap around himself, and to redo his makeup so that you know, he looks kind of like crazy, like, you know, kind of like some wild eyes or something, right? Like the idea, my intention being to make it so that whatever story he tells, like if he tells a story that, oh, the golden dragon saber was down in this crypt with a body or whatever, that people will just think he's nuts and they won't believe him.
Brilliant.
To humiliate him for the other bandits.
So we get a quick pan of him actually walking out into the desert, actually with your scarf cupped around his lowers to for modesty's sake. We get a shot of you up on the top at the oasis, and everyone is gone. You don't know how long you've been down there, but the fires for the camp look to have actually gone cool, so they've been gone for quite a while.
Okay. Well, I don't think I knew where people were going, so maybe I'll. I think it would make sense for me though to go to that to the mountain, or if I maybe find one of my my sponsors or something. So yeah, I'll let you put the next scene in. I'm not sure where I would want to go at this point.
So we will cut the scene at that point. So I think we'll cut to somewhere on the lower, somewhere on the banks of the river that runs up to Mount Xianghu. I think there's a funeral going on. A bunch of performers and artists are gathered to sing celebratory songs to Mast River, the martial artist who has recently died and is being celebrated by her fellows within the Drifting Blossoms. And given that this is the Drifting Blossoms, the show that they put on is, as a bunch of artists, is an elaborate show. It's singing, it's dancing. People come from miles around to see what's going on here. And at that point, I think we'll cut to the actual central part of it and the person conducting the ceremony in this instance. And I think that person is our new character, whose name I need to look up, and which is Unending Sky Zan. So, Zan.
Yeah, I'm going to call my fellow Drifting Blossoms to order, and I'm going to list off the achievements of a Masked River while they were alive, and propose a toast to such a great person.
And you see all the Drifting Blossoms raise their glasses and they drink, and wine comes round, and people they're refilling it. And I think on the outskirts of the camp, there's someone who's a little bit more quiet, a little bit more brooding. Wu Hen, this funeral's going on. How do you feel about this?
I don't know if I feel any ways about it, because I didn't really know her, right? Or do I?
Not directly, but how do you feel about the actual manner in which they're doing it? Given that you come from a temple, this isn't necessarily the sort of celebration, the sort of funeral that they would hold in a monastic society.
I suppose. Like, it doesn't. I don't think I hold any particular opinions about it, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go on, Paul.
I'm going to notice across the sea of drifting blossoms, Wu Hen. The camera's going to turn and zoom in on her, and I'm going to grab out of the hand of a nearby drifting blossom a large bottle of wine. I'm going to move forwards through the crowd, grabbing an empty glass from somebody else, and I will slide over to Wu Hen, and I will say, "A drink, Wu Hen, please. We're toasting Mast River," and I'm going to pour a glass and hand it to Wu Hen.
Okay, I take it politely, and like when you'd like gesture to
Mast River.
Yep, I gesture back.
And yeah, I'm going to say it's been a very long time, Wu Hen, since we last met.
Yes,
Far too long.
It has been a while. You are well?
Yes, I am well. So, tell me of your travels and your life.
I look around at this funeral event. I'm kind of like, I don't know if this is the best time. Perhaps we could catch up after your
Certainly.
event.
Let's toast Mast River and we'll catch up in the morning.
Yes, of course.
And I'm going to turn around to some of the fellow drifting blossoms and ask them to play a merry tune. Because Mast River led a great life.
They pluck up a tune and they start playing, and the celebration goes on. And then suddenly it stops. There's silence. And you can see a figure walking amongst the dancers who's carrying a torch. Carrying a torch with them. And it's an older man. And this man walks towards the funeral pyre there and stops and looks at the form of his daughter laid out on the pyre before him. People whisper, "It can't be. It can't be Master Ironwing Crane."
Oh, I walk forward to where he is.
As you walk forward, he's focusing on his daughter. He's not really on his daughter's body, and he's not really paying any attention to you. So you come up behind him without any problems at all.
I mean, he's mourning, and I think I respect that. But I do. Do I touch him or not? I think I do. I place my hand like where his elbow would be, but I'm not actually touching him. I'm just touching like the sleeves like of his robe, and I'm hoping that would catch his attention.
He turns to look at you. Yes. And you can see there are tears in his eyes. Can I?
Oh, no, go ahead.
How can I help?
When you are ready, I would like to hear your side of the story of what happened that night at the temple.
He looks confused. The temple?
Of the Eastern Dragon. Is that what it's called?
Yes, it is.
Eastern Dragon Temple, yes.
He looks at his daughter and he looks at you. Why do you wish to know such things?
Because I'm the only one left. And I
And
think whoever is left still alive deserves to know the truth.
Have you come for your revenge, child? I have retired.
And I think at that point we both like turn and look at like the funeral pyre. I have not come for revenge.
Then let me get this over with, and I will speak to you. He turns round to the drifting blossoms. I thank you all for coming to honor my daughter. I thank you all for being there with her when I could not. He turns round to her unending sky, Zan. What needs to be done here?
Leave it to us. We'll make sure Mast River is sent away in the correct manner.
He puts down the torch and he bows to you. And
I will bow back.
It is a deep bow. This is the former master of the Wulin, the preeminent fighter, and he bows deeply as a show of respect.
I will bow as deep as a show of respect back, and I will guide him backwards, and I will instruct some of my colleagues in the Drifting Blossom to pick up the torch and continue with the ceremony.
Can you find a place for us to sit?
Of course I can, Master Ironwing Crane.
Then please. You can see his hand is shaking.
Okay, well, while some of the other Drifting Blossoms are taking care of the pyre, I will guide him towards the back where there will be some seating, and I will offer him a seat.
He sits down and indicates for Wu Hen to come forward.
Yeah, I like flatten my ropes back and then like sit down in front of him.
What is it you wish to know, child? And he looks up at Zan. You may wish to record this. I seldom tell my stories.
Of course, Master.
Oh, I'm not really I think I look like I'm not comfortable with that. Let's see. Maybe how do I do this? I guess I just like look at you, unending sky. Sun? This is a private matter.
But as the Master has said, it's a story that should be told.
Perhaps.
And clearly, I am one that can tell this story. I'd like to use hearts and minds to persuade you.
Okay. I was going to use that, but go for it, since you're going to do it first.
Well, I've got this move called Trickster, which gives me leverage against you, which is clearly I am a man of some repute among the drifting blossoms, so you would probably think it would be fitting that I would record this story, to sing, to perform plays on such a tale.
Okay, so can you roll your hearts and minds then, please? And which chi are you going to use?
I'm going to use water because wisdom. Clearly, I'm quite old. I'm quite wise in these matters, and this is clearly a drifting blossom thing. So, what does this leverage, or is it that I don't actually need a good reason? I can just say I've got leverage and off we go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so let's roll some dice. Double six. Get in there.
On a PC on a hit, if they mark XP, on a hit, on a hit, they may mark XP if they do as they wish. If they don't, they mark a chi. They may burn a bond to avoid this.
Well, okay, so you're just trying to convince me to agree to you recording this, right? Like, whether I agree or not, you probably would still do it, which is weird.
No, clearly, I don't think you could press upon somebody to, if you didn't want to record him, then you wouldn't speak to him. Because it's him that wants it recorded. But I've convinced you anyway. So it's whether you accept it or whether you don't.
Okay. Let me see if I need to do inner conflict to do with this. Let's see. Doesn't seem to be one of my entanglements. I'm going to burn a bond to refuse.
Okay.
I'm going to burn my bond with the Eastern Dragon Temple.
Okay. So you draw some strength from your relations with your dead kin, with your dead family, with the people who raised you, and you turn to him and say,
I believe that I have stated this is a private matter. And I think I'm going to look at Master Ironwing Crane. If you have decided to shame me and the rest of my temple in this way, I would have to say that is quite dishonorable.
very well. I'm an old man. I have nothing but my stories. And he turns to look at Sun. Thank you for your kindness.
No problem, Master Ironwing Crane. Maybe you can tell me some tales later. Tales that do not include Wu Hen.
He sighs and smiles.
I will bow and depart.
What is it you wish to know, child?
I wish to know the truth without an audience listening in.
And what is that truth? Do you wish to know? Do you wish to know how your mistress attacked me?
By my mistress? Oh, do you mean my teacher?
Yes.
Oh,
your Sifu, your mistress.
Okay. Yes, tell me the story.
There is not much to tell. I thought to retire. I had at one point planned to gift my saber to your temple when I washed my hands. I put that off. They were not happy with it. They wished the saber. Moreover, they accused me of bringing disorder to the Wulin. It was too peaceful. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh no, I know. I was talking to someone else.
It was strange. Your brethren attacked me, but they did not know why. They did so
This
under
seems
order.
fantastical, actually. This doesn't seem like something that normal people would do.
No,
While you were there, were you aware of any scents that were in the air?
I
Was
felt
anything unusual?
I felt a presence, although I could not put my finger on it. I smelt. Do you know the flowers that grow upon the grow up the mountain, Janhu?
I am aware of them, though I have not seen them in person.
They're commonly used as a venom. Their flowers, if treated properly, can make a wonderful tea. But if allowed to fester, are deadly poison.
Is that what you noticed?
There was a scent of them in the air.
I see. Thank you.
As far as I know, there is only one place on the mountain they grow.
I'm going to untie from my belt. I must have a belt. I guess it's like a jade decoration. I guess it's anyway, but it has like the pattern of a dragon. No, it doesn't. That's not right. It See, we can't do anything about dragon because that has to do with the emperor. Let's just say it has patterns of the specific kind of pine trees that grow around the Eastern Dragon Temple. And I place it on the table. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. May I ask you something before you go?
Of course.
Who now holds the Eastern Golden Dragon?
I don't know what that is.
My blade.
Oh, I don't actually know outside of the game, like who had it.
It was taken by Hateful Spider.
Oh, I see. Why do you wish to know? I thought you'd retired.
I have, but that blade in the wrong hands can spell doom for the people. The blade is powerful.
It now belongs to the, what is it? The whatever blossom? No.
Unfettered Frost.
The Unfettered Frost.
And he breathes out almost explosively. Assassins. Assassins.
I don't think it was the blade. It is the blade that draws the bloodshed.
The blade enhances the greatness within the soul. Even a common man who lifts it can fight like any master.
It's not the blade. You and I both know that. You're powerful enough to not need the blade, and yet you held it. And it is people's respect and fear for you that have carried over to this blade. I'm not saying that it was on your shoulders, but I am saying that if you place the same amount of importance on this blade as everyone else, then this cycle of bloodshed will never end.
The people look to see who carries the blade. I carried it for many years. I won it as trophy from the previous king of the mountain. The people, the common people, the new heroes, the swordsmen, they all look at the one who holds it for guidance. It is like a crown in many ways.
I would be careful in saying that, even within the depths of Jianghu.
This is what the people think. I dread to think what the reign of the new king will be.
You could be beheaded for that. You think that the emperor's reach isn't far enough, but, well, this is not my place. I thank you again for your time. I'm going to stand up with my sword and leave.
And as you walk out the door, why do you think I held it for so long?
I'll keep walking out.
Okay. And so I think we'll cut the scene there. And I think we'll cut over to Alun briefly at this point. Alun. All around you is snow. You stand on the balcony outlooking at, over a fortress in the mountains. You look out and you can see the world beneath you from the fortress balcony itself. And snow falls through the air. In the background, you can hear servants come to and fro. Young master, one of them says. The master of this house awaits you.
Take me to your master.
He bows and leads you through the halls. You come to a great hall, and in there's two pits with fires burning in them. The flames burn blue rather than the normal golden color. And there's a huge stairways that leads up to a throne at the top of it. And then sits the man in black robes, in grey armor, and a porcelain mask.
I will have met Merciless Spider when he engaged me to his daughter. Is this Merciless Spider?
Merciless
Scorpion.
This is Merciless Scorpion, yes.
I think a lot has happened to Ling in the last few weeks, and the happy-go-lucky traveler is now a much more serious individual. And so he's also dressed now in the robes of unfettered frost, I think. Not the loose traveling cloaks that he was usually to be found in, now much more stiffly attired. And I think that probably well-born Ling says, soon to be father-in-law. I am grateful to be for the hospitality of your house. How may I serve you?
I wish to thank you for the honor that you do my daughter.
That will throw Ling, because he's not particularly well born. He's not quite sure where this honor comes from, whether there's more to this than meets the eye. He thought this was a pretty much business transaction. Provide a saber, get a daughter. So I think I'd like to study, please. And I think I will probably use Earth, caution, focus, and presence. I really want to try and get this right.
Okay.
So, whoops. That's 10.
Okay.
So
So
on a
that
10,
you get 2 options from there.
Sir, I do not. I am honored that you think that my hand in marriage to your daughter is such an honor to your house. How can that be? I am but a humble traveler.
You have many gifts to give. You do not know your own worth or the worth of your bloodline.
I think that's almost certainly true. And I think I will. I think I'd like to reveal a detail. Does this spark the possibility that Iron-Faced Bison is not my father?
I think it does.
Okay. I think I'll leave that open at this point. I don't think I think I have an idea about that, but I think I'll let that go. How may I serve you?
I wish to be familiar with my son-in-law. And he calls for drinks to be brought forward. Please.
No, right, yes. I have a move called Tracing Shadows.
Yes.
When you spend time interacting with someone to read their web of connections, roll. On a hit, you learn their 3 closest confidants and a short statement about each of these relationships. So I think this is probably about the creativity with which I guide the conversation.
Okay.
So I'll roll with fire then.
Okay, can you roll those dice then, please, and tell me what you get?
Oh, and I get a total of 5.
Okay.
And I can't. No, so I yes, I roll with 5. And what the move says, on a miss, they learn my entanglements.
Okay. So let's have a look at your current entanglements.
Which are, despite being engaged to unforgiving Viper by the man I'm talking to, I have realized that it is Wu-En, not Hateful Spider, his other daughter, who is my soulmate. This could be an embarrassing point for that to come out.
So, what would you say is my daughter's greatest attribute? He says, and he pours you a drink and passes it to you by hand.
Now, at this point, I don't know what's gone on the mountain previously. So both daughters are in play, as far as I'm concerned, even though one of them is a son.
That's right. Yes.
So I assume he's talking about Unforgiving Viper, and I will say she is direct and driven, Lord.
That she is, and he pours himself a drink and takes it. She has many other good qualities, but she requires a firm hand to guide her.
Indeed, Lord.
She benefits from wisdom of the world. She can run off at times. She is your senior, as she is of the blood. But your counsel will be essential to her.
I'm honored that you think that I can be in any way beneficial to Unfettered Frost. Might it be helpful if I understood what you hope for the clan.
I wish to see the clan succeed. We are now the lords of the mountain. We are now those who bear the saber. All will turn to us for guidance. We are the preeminent clan in the Wulin.
Then it is even a greater honor that I should have anything to do with guiding the world of Wulin as part of Unfettered Frost.
He pours you another drink. So, tell me. There was a fight on the banks of the Jianghu River earlier today by Immortal Bridge.
Indeed.
I heard the name of one called Traceless. What do you know of this individual?
I don't believe that she is important in any of this, Lord. I'm sure just a minor inconvenience to anything that the Frost may wish.
He goes to pour. He's going to pour another cup at this point, and he stops briefly. You think so little of her?
Oh yes, she's entirely inconsequential. Yes, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head quite rightly, Lord.
Then her loss should be no major concern. I will send my assassins forthwith.
Is that necessary for such a minor player in the great theatre of Wulin?
Well, if she is such a minor player, then her loss will have no great repercussions on the world. But she has stepped into our terrain. She has stepped into our area of influence, and she will be the first of many to feel our sting.
Very well, my lord. Perhaps now I could withdraw and consider the great things that we will do together.
Ah, daughter, you are here. He turns and looks to the doorway at the end of the hall, and there is Unforgiven Viper in her porcelain mask.
Lady, it is good to see you again. I was just talking to your father about what a great honor this is.
Yes, I can see. But if my father has no more use of you, I wish to speak to you further.
Yes, certainly, Lord. If that is fine, I will attend the lady.
He smiles. Enjoy yourselves, children.
Is it the voice of Unforgiving Viper?
Oh, it is, yes.
Right, okay. Lady, what would you discuss?
And she's wearing a half-face porcelain mask, so you can see her jaw. And she takes you round the corner, and as you step into the room and the door closes, she grabs you by the front of your robes and pushes you up against one of the beams. And lays a
Lady,
kiss,
this is where we left off.
And lays a kiss on your lips.
Oh. A rather flustered Ling wasn't expecting that.
Can you roll in a conflict, please? Thank you, Agatha.
Whose side are you on? Okay. So I think that probably, knowing Ling as we do, this is all about patience, growth, and curiosity, which is -1. Which is 8.
Oh, excellent. So what do you get on an 8 for in a conflict?
Let's have a look.
You must either flee the scene or mark a chi until you
Yeah,
make
it
a
is.
change in the entanglement.
I'm going to flee the scene. I'm going to try and get back to my rooms, and then I'm going to use the other move, which is it takes a thief. You can slip from any restraint and pass through any door or window as if it were open. I'm going down the outside wall of that castle.
Okay, well, before you do
Is
that,
the door getting beyond me?
before you do that, you get back to your room, and as you open the door to the room and walk in, there's a bundle sitting on the floor that's wrapped up and tied with the ribbon.
Oh well, Link never resist something like this. So yes, he'll have to open it.
So this is a large bundle, a very large bundle. And as you go to open it and as you move the ribbon, it groans.
Oh, this is someone wrapped in a carpet. I pull the carpet and out rolls
your father.
Oh shit. Oh my God. I think you cut the scene on that cliffhanger. And I don't know what to do.
Okay.
But I don't leave the castle.
Okay, so at this point, I think we'll go back to the Drifting Blossoms camp. I think the funeral's coming to an end, and everyone, the celebrations have borne down. There's the pyre burning into the in the twilight. There's some drunken singing, and all the artists are putting their things away and getting ready to retire for the night.
Where's Unending Sky? Oh, also, I don't know unless you wanted something with Ming Starfall.
I will be doing something with Ming Starfall in a few minutes. But did you want to do something with Unending Sky?
I want to go look for Unending Sky.
Okay.
Sun.
By all means. Unending Sky Sun. Yes, I keep on forgetting the sun myself. Okay, so you go looking for an Unending Sky Sun. And where do you find, and Paul?
Yep.
Where does Wu Hen find them?
Wu Hen finds me in a tent on a bedroll, slightly worse for wear.
Like wounded?
No, tipsy.
Oh, I see.
Worse for wear.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like
Wu Hen, come in.
Yeah, I think I like pushed open the flap with my hand holding my sword, and then I just walk in, lower it.
Please be seated.
Okay. I again do the thing where I throw my robe, like the the bit of my robe back, and I sit down.
So, what do you want to discuss?
I want to apologize for.
That's fine. I'm sure you had your reasons earlier, and as I said, it was the tales of Master Ironwing Crane that I wished to record. So that's fine. Your business is your business.
Fair enough.
But please stay and tell me of your recent actions.
I'm afraid there's not much I can say, aside from the fact that I am still on the search for truth, and I have not found it yet. I found pieces of a puzzle that are falling together. And
well, then at least it moves in the right direction.
I suppose. And I'm going to pour myself a drink as well.
I'll ching your glass. And we'll toast.
And you?
I have travelled wildly to improve my wisdom. I've seen many sights and heard many tales. Tales which in the future I wish to sing about. But maybe there's some information I've gathered that could assist you.
Oh? And what could they be?
Tales of the Golden Dragon Sword.
Hmm. Oh, I would like to study this situation.
Okay, can you roll study then, please?
Yes. Let's see. What am I going with? Let's. I think I'm gonna roll with water because it's awareness. Okay. Seven, 8, 9. 7 to 9. I have 1. What do I? I guess I want to ask a question about your motivation. Unending Sky Sun. So, okay, that word trips me up. What do you want from me? You can say there's nothing, which is fine.
No, I wish to get to know you better.
So you want information?
No friendship. Friendship.
Why?
One can never have too many friends in the world.
So you want my friendship because you are a collector of friendships?
No. What makes you think I'm a collector of friendships?
You said one could never have enough. Like
That doesn't make you. That doesn't make you. That doesn't make you a collector. Man can have many coins. It doesn't make him a collector of money.
Does it not? I would think
No.
it does.
No. Allies, friends, they're always handy to have. Gather more tales.
Is that your so outside of like a character, like is that your real motivation? Because I think
No, I am in love with you. But clearly I can't obviously come out and say that.
so you don't reveal that, right?
No.
You may not say it, but you actually can figure it out using the study move.
Right. So if I were to use this move, does that mean that my character finds out, or
that means he doesn't say it, but your character figures it out from what he's saying.
okay? How do I find out then? I'm going to ask you, this guy.
Yeah, you notice it through Unending Sky's less than obvious moves towards you.
And I think at that point we actually cut away slightly, and we see a figure walking through the twilight towards the campsite itself. There's the pyre on the hill in the background with the river running down it behind it, and this figure carries a sword on their back and something in their arms. Ming Starfall, why have you come to this place?
I have come to this place because this scroll has mentioned something about up on the mountain, and I feel like that is the direction I should come. And I am drawn to this light like a moth to a flame of where this funeral celebration of her life was happening. But I am walking much more slowly than normal. And normally when I walk, my silken robes are fluttering and flying and billowing in the wind, and they are almost strangely not picking up the wind right now. They're just hanging very loosely at my side. Some of my silk robes are even dragging a little bit in the ground and a little bit muddy at this point.
Is it almost as if you're carrying a metaphysical weight on your shoulders?
Yes, absolutely. And also just mechanically, I've still got my style. Water is still marked, and so I'm going to lean heavily into, normally I'm very emotional and expressive, and I'm like just looking very depressed and right now, and I'm feeling very isolated, but I'm looking for something.
And I think as you walk up to the gates of the camp, I think both the other characters actually spy you through the tent flap in the half light of the twilight.
Oh. I would like to stride out of the tent.
And so will I.
To go and see my friend.
Wu-hen! Wu-hen!
Ming, what happened?
It's... I destroyed something again, Wu-hen. I ruin everything. I destroyed something sacred. I destroyed something so important. I can't bear the weight of it. I think I may have blundered my worst failure ever.
Come now.
I'm just a curse on this world, Wu-hen.
I'm gonna like guide you by your elbow to like the tent that we were sitting in, so that you can sit down.
Ming goes with you. Very comforted.
And unending Sky Zan. Wu-hen's taken Ming Starfall into your tent.
Well, I know Ming Starfall. He's a good friend of mine.
Yes, but how do you feel about that, given your entanglement?
That she's brushed me off.
Can you please roll in? Can you please roll in a conflict?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, are you sure? No, I think it's the other way around. I think you brushed me off, Unending Sky.
Wait, what?
No. This is about the situation that.
Or you're talking about Wu-hen.
Yeah, Wu-hen's just sort of wandered out of my tent and just wandered with you back into my tent.
Yes.
Yeah. Although you know me also.
Yeah, I do know you, so I don't think it's that weird.
Yeah, and in particular, like I think one of the things you first notice about Ming is every time you've encountered Ming in the past, Ming has been very, very flirty with you. Even when you've openly rejected Ming's advances, she's been very flirty with you. And this is like the first time you've ever seen Ming not making flirty eyes at you. In fact, she won't make eye contact with you. Her demeanor seems very unusual.
Okay, well, clearly this involves some passion here, so I'm going to roll fire. 7 + 1, 8.
Okay. So on an 8, on a in a conflict, you must either flee the scene or mark a chi until you make a change in the entanglement. So, would you?
Yeah, very well. I'll flee the scene.
Okay. So, can you describe what actually happens there when you see Wu-hen has stopped paying attention to you now and is actually paying attention to the lover?
Yeah, sure.
Lover.
Yeah, I'm going to go quite red-faced in this situation. Look quite flustered, and notice that they're moving back towards my tent. I'm going to grab a bottle, and I'm going to disappear into the crowd of the blossoms that are still celebrating to drown my sorrows.
Okay, so back in the tent. What's happening in there?
I think I go in and then I turn around to like, can you? Oh, and I instead grab like a bottle myself, and I'll pour out a drink for you, Ming Starfall.
Thank you. But maybe it's best that I don't drink. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of losing control again.
Oh, Ming. I promise you, if you were to lose control, I will be the first person to knock you out before you knock down another building. Now take this drink.
Okay.
And I would like to roll comfort and support.
Please do. Which tea are you using for this?
True. Let's see. I think it's wood because it's patience, which is a 0. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, yes. I rolled an 8.
Okay, so on comfort and support, on a hit, they hear you. They clear a chi or add a bond. So would you like? So Ming Starfall, would you like to clear a chi, or would you like to add a bond?
I would definitely like to clear my chi. I will do that. So yeah, after comforting Ming for a while, she starts to come back to herself. She's been so alone on the road for so long, and to have the comfort of a familiar friend, someone who's so kind, is just really turning her around, and the light comes back into her face.
What did you destroy this time?
There was some shrine, a very old shrine, and it had a prophecy that it contained. I don't know what to make of it. It doesn't make sense. I'm still scared. I'm scared that maybe I brought some curse down upon myself. But
what did it say?
I don't know. I mean, just hand you the scroll.
Okay, and this is about the Golden Dragon Saber, right?
It was. I can only paraphrase. Perhaps we can hear the scroll again. It was something about when someone on the mountain is deposed, there will be a strife.
I'm gonna have to paraphrase because with this being a game where people set up their own backgrounds and interactions, I don't always have full time to write stuff ahead of time. So it is when the child of the frozen scorpion takes the green dragon to the high mountain and takes the seat of their father, a darkness will cover the land.
Okay.
Oh, I would like to use my wisdom to try to figure this out.
Okay. Do you have any specific moves that relate to this?
Nah, I do not. Doesn't seem, unless there's poison, which I don't think there is. Yeah, I think I'm reading this and I'm like thinking through what I know from my travels, trying to figure out, and also I'm trying to see if there's like wordplay in these words that might imply something. And I'm going to roll with the water. That definitely is wisdom. And I want to roll study. Ooh, it's an 11. Excellent. I want to say that. Okay, so it's like, okay, the frozen scorpion, green dragon, taking a seat. Right? These are the keywords that I got. Okay, I want to say that the green dragon has to do with has to do with Welwyn Ling. I want to know. Well, I want to say that refers to him.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know why. I don't know how, but I saw it and I was like, and some detail pops up in my mind. Oh, this is not good. Do you know that Welwyn Ling and Unforgiving Viper are getting married? Ming Starfall?
What? Wait a minute.
And we'll cut that scene and cut outside at that point. So, Unending Sky Zan, you're wandering the camp and you have a bottle in your hand. You go from fire to fire, and as you're wandering around, most of the artists have gone away. Oh, sorry, Agatha, do you want to ask that other question before I go to the scene then?
Oh, okay, sure.
Sorry, I totally missed that.
That's okay. Can I do 2 of the same thing?
Yes, if you want to.
Reveal another detail.
Yes, you can if you want to.
Okay. And I want to say that the seat is actually an eternally frozen lake where the unfettered frost are.
Excellent. Okay. So at this point, Zun, you're going from campfire to campfire. Most of the people have gone to bed. There's a few people sitting around drinking. All of the main artists have gone to sleep, and you're stumbling around. You've got a bottle in your hand, and this is Chinese wine. It's really quite potent for what it is. And you're wandering around and you stub your foot on something.
I will look down and see what I've stubbed my foot on.
You look down and you see in the flickering lights of the torches, it looks like a body.
I'll is it face down?
It's face down, yes.
Yep. So I'll quickly grab it by the shoulder and roll it over.
You roll it over and you recognize it. At least you think you do.
Is it Master Iron Wing Crane?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
It's a member of your troop. At least you think so. She wasn't blue beforehand.
But she's blue.
She's blue, and her outer clothes are missing.
Fine. I will start a hue and cry, and start shouting, "Help! Help!"
And people start rushing in, and some of them bring lanterns. Well, what's the problem? What's the problem?
So this was. Do
you want to give her a name?
Yeah, sure. Let me have a quick look at the female name list. Let's go for Yan Ping.
Okay. The Eru player.
Indeed. Something terrible has happened to Yang Ping.
Look at that color.
Say exactly. She's probably been murdered.
It's a curse.
It's a curse. It's an evil curse.
It's a curse. They turn to look at the bonfire up on the hill. We've offended the spirit in some way.
Can I study the body to see if there's any other sign of it not being a curse that has turned Yang Ping blue?
Yes, by all means. You can roll a study roll, but there's no magic in this game. There's just superstition amongst some of the people.
So she probably hasn't been cursed.
It's fairly safe to say that she hasn't been cursed.
Okay, but I'm still quite interested in what has happened to Yang Ping. So I'm going to patiently, with some caution, study the body, looking specifically for poison darts, any kind of sort of something that's gone into her body. So let's have a look at that.
So can you roll study, please? And which cheer you using?
Yeah, I said I was going to do it cautiously. So I've rolled 4 + 1, giving me 5. Failure.
Okay. You can find no trace of poison here.
Okay. Do we start attracting some wider body of people coming in?
Yes, yeah. A load of the bearers, load of the people who are here for the funeral start gathering round, and a lot of them are still drunk and acting as such. And there's screams and cries when they see the body. And yes, some of them do actually say, she's seen a ghost. Look at her. Look at her.
I'll attempt to calm the masses down, because there are no ghosts. I know that.
Okay. Can you roll hearts and minds then, please?
Certainly. So hearts and minds, using my wisdom, that I've well travelled and there's no such thing as ghosts. So 11 + 2, 13.
Okay. So the people are calming down. Then what did this? That means there's a murderer here. And they start looking around, and the ones who have weapons, their hands go to their weapons.
I will shout that firstly we must secure the camp, because if there is a murderer, they will probably still be here.
Yes. Get everyone. Go. Let's get. And they start running off in all sorts of different directions to try and actually secure the camp. This is an open campsite, so there's no...
True, it's going to be very hard to secure it, but at least putting out some pickets, we may attempt to catch somebody leaving.
Some of the local guards, actually go and stand on the actual outskirts, and they take their torches there, and back in the tent, you can hear a commotion outside. This is to Wu Hen and Ming.
Yeah, Oh, go ahead. Walter?
Ming just sort of covers her ears and says, "Oh heavens! Every time I arrive somewhere with friends, there's bandits attacking or some sort of commotion. What is it about me? I bring curses upon my friends everywhere I go."
Stop crying, Ming. We have something to do.
At which point, there's a voice at the door, at the tent flap. Mistress Wu Hen. Mistress Wu Hen. There's a body out here. They say it has been poisoned. We need your help.
Of course. I go pick up my sword.
And as you step out, I'd like you to make a dice roll, please.
Oh,
So
custom move.
you have a move called the Traveling Sifu.
Yes, that's true.
Can you roll that, please?
Of course. Oh, I will roll with water for awareness sake.
Okay. So there's a young woman outside in golden robes and carrying an erhu and with the hands clasped around it.
Okay, I rolled a 7, and so on a hit, I identify them and may ask a question as per the study move. And on a 7 to 9, they notice my attention. Oh, and I also get +1 ongoing for the scene while they maintain the disguise.
Okay. So this person is vengeful. Let me think of a poisonous animal.
Uh-oh.
This person is vengeful blowfish. A vengeful centipede. There we go. I'm struggling to come up with poisonous animals. Vengeful centipede.
It's kind of into the blowfish. Vengeful centipede. What is she in disguise?
She looks to be disguised as one of the Eru players from the Drifting Blossoms that were at the funeral earlier.
Okay. There must be something that gives her away. Unfettered Frost. I want to say that they're all poison masters, even though I don't know if that's true or not. I guess I'll just reveal a detail. I'm gonna declare that about them. And there's generally it's that they always wear the same kind of scent. So like both the men and women.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
there's a flower that grows on the banks of Mount Jianghu.
Right. Yeah, and I think. Oh, but I haven't seen it before. It's fine. I understand poisons and or herbs, so I smell it, and they all carry that. I think it's like one of those things that assassins do. Right? Oh, in case you get caught, you can like just kill yourself with this poison, and I smell it immediately. I mean, I think I like stop, which is why it's sort of obvious that I notice.
She looks at you. Her eyes go wide. And her hand goes to the inside of her robe.
Oh.
Sorry, you did get a partial hit on that, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that's why I revealed a detail like I would if it was a study move.
Okay.
I would advise.
Oh, sorry. Notice they don't figure out you know who they are. They notice your attention. Sorry, I misread that. So she goes. So she's Mistress Wu Hen. There's been a poisoning.
I'm gonna turn around to you, Ming Starfall, and then there's that moment where I'm like, I want to ask you to do something. And I said, of course. And then I'm going to take a step back and say to you, Ming, watch her for me.
Of course.
Do not let her out of your sight.
Yes.
Now I'll go identify this poison.
And Ming follows along and keeps a close eye on this Yahoo player.
Okay, so there are guards all over the place. They've got torches over the body, and you can see several people have actually picked up the body and brought it into the camp itself.
Yeah, I don't know if it means that they do, like, they notice my attention. Well, I guess because on a miss, I just badly misidentify the target. But none
Yes,
of it.
which is why I've gone from her directly attacking you to her carrying on the surprise, the disguise. So she notices you looking, but she hasn't figured out you've twigged her yet.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna go and check out this body.
Wu Hen, can you help us identify what has happened to Yang Ping?
Should I study again, or
What does
The
your
five
you have?
deadly
Yes,
the 5 deadly venoms? It says I can immediately spot and identify any kind of poison or potion before it's consumed in my presence. If someone has been poisoned, I have +1 forward to treat and heal them with overcome.
yes, there is a
But this
there is.
one's dead, right?
So I'll give you +1 on your study roll in this instance.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll with water again because
Okay.
again, studying is awareness. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, I guess, with a +1.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know. I guess I'll actually ask the question. I want to ask about what is the hidden detail of this scene? Like, what do I see that maybe has been overlooked by?
As you look at the body, you notice that the body is bulging in certain places. The chest and the seems sorry, the chest and the lower gut seems. I'm trying to think of the right word, but disgorged, if that's the right word. That it's like something is pushing out.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
it's good.
I'm trying to think. I'm struggling for words here.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think you're using the right terms. It's totally. I'm just imagining it and I'm being grossed out. Okay. Well, pufferfish. I guess I'll take the end of my sword, like sheathed, and like press down slightly.
And there's a noise from the corpse as blue gas starts to emit.
Okay. And this
Can everyone there please roll overcome?
Oh, well, I was gonna reveal a detail as well.
No, go on then.
Oh, yeah, but it's the same. Everyone can still roll overcome. But I was gonna reveal that I know this poison, and this is the same thing that has to do with that flower, and this is what I suspected was poisoning the temple the night of the massacre. Quick, everyone! Stop your breathing. This will make you hallucinate.
Okay, so we all roll. Let's see. What do we for overcome? What kind of thing do we choose for that?
You can choose whichever chi is appropriate.
Let's see. So I guess well, if caution seems appropriate.
I'm going to speedily cover my mouth. And I, even with my +1, get 5.
I got a 6.
Okay. So I think you've both been poisoned.
Yeah, on a miss, what you fear comes to pass. So we are indeed poisoned.
Yes.
And the poison is like hallucination.
Yes. And all around you, the 2 poison characters, all around you in the camp, you see the massed members of the Unfettered Frost stepping out of the night to attack you. In fact, there's one standing right next to you at the moment.
I'm going to suggest to Ming Starfall that we stand back to back and fight these evildoers.
You turn to look at Ming, and you see him on the ground, and over him, and over where he was standing, there's a member of the Unfettered Frost. Their dagger bloody.
Yeah,
Agatha, Wu Hen sees nothing of this. You
Yeah,
just leave the scene as it is.
yeah, I was gonna try to heal at least one of them with the 5 deadly venoms and heal with overcome and all that jazz.
I think before you get a chance to heal them, you need to talk them down. Because at the moment, they see themselves surrounded by enemies who are attacking them.
Yeah, I'm not aware of this. It's fine. They can do what they want. Unless they shout that.
So what happens?
I'm going to uncoil my monkey fist rope from around my body and start swinging it and attempt to entangle the knife wielder that is standing over the body of Ming Starfall.
Okay. So Ming Starfall, a member of the when I talk about the other character, when I talk about Zun and you now, assume that I'm talking about you seeing the member of the Unfettered a and him seeing a member of the Unfettered Frost. So
excellent, I like it.
He uncoils his monkey fist rope and comes at you, and attempts to entangle you. What happens? What's the back and forth here?
Oh well, I am afraid for not just myself but my friends. So I think I am backing up and looking around and looking for my friends. Where is Wu Hen? Where is Sky? And then I'm going to I will try to disarm this Unfettered Frost in front of me as well.
Okay, so do you two want to actually describe the scene back and forth and do any conversation? We considering this a duel at this point?
The PC versus PC duel?
Yes.
Ooh.
So do you want to actually do the start of the actual discussion about what actually happens with the combat here?
Yeah. So you mean we start with like a back and forth describing what happens until we get to a point where we roll?
That's right. Yes. So describe it as back and forth with conversation between each of you. What you hear from the other half may not necessarily be what they say because of the hallucinogenic effects. I may pop in and say actually change the words somewhat, but if you two want to do the duel, please do so.
Yeah. If I can take the liberty, but I think you'll see and what I'll do. So what I do is Ming starts twirling around and lets her robes flow all about her in an attempt to tangle the chain that this Unfettered Frost has. But I think what Unending Sky sees is that sort of amazingly this Unfettered Frost in front of him takes out more daggers, not just this one bloody dagger that it used to kill Ming, but it whips out like daggers in all of its fingers, and it starts like whipping around, and there's just this like whirlwind of dagger blades. It's like nothing you've ever seen before, and it just starts like engaging your chain. Like all these dagger blades are just like completely battering around your chain and making it unwieldy.
Okay, Unending Sky Zan is going to shout to this Unfettered Frost assassin to lay down their dagger because they've now been caught. And I'm going to continue to swing my rope in front of me, building up speed to swirl it round the assassin if they don't lay down their dagger.
So the Unfettered Frost calls on you to surrender and give in to the venom. You cannot win here. You have no means of You have no means of beating them. You're outmatched.
And Ming replies, I will never surrender. I will find and protect my friends. What have you done with my friends? And then Ming makes this swooping with her robes and catches a lot of air, and she kind of like does this jump that like flies over the rope and almost like touches her toe on the head of the unfettered Frost who is threatening her, just to sort of humiliate them and show her power, and then like tumbles and lands on the other side of them and confronts them again. Yeah, go ahead.
This unfettered, so Paul, this unfettered Frost has just threatened to kill all your friends, threatened to kill everyone you hold dear.
Well, then I've got to carry through with my threat that I offered them earlier, and I'm going to attempt to swing my rope around them and entangle them.
Okay, so the rope comes out, and Ming, this rope, you assumed it was a rope, but as you look closely at it, this isn't a rope that's flickering around you. Something ensnarls you, ensnares you, wraps round, and you hear, and you feel the flick of its tongue on your nose. You look down, and you're covered in snakes.
Ah! I scream. I start shrieking, and I take advantage of all of my many layers of silk robes, and I feel like I can slither out of the silk robes so that I'm then only wearing like my silken undergarments, and I kind of like leave behind this long trail of silken robes with the snakes wrapped around them.
Okay. And at this point, who wants to be the... Who wants to be the... this is something that I didn't actually consider about when I said to do the PC versus PC duel, because mechanically that doesn't work in this instance, because they would have one player actually being the instigator. So rather than actually do it as a duel at this point, Wu Hen, do you want to say something to try and actually break this up? Because because the way that it's written, it doesn't make sense, because neither of them are basically instigating at this point.
Okay, so Ming Starfall was running away, and Unending Sky was chasing after her. I would like to PC duel.
Okay.
Sky Zan. And let's see what I can offer. I kind of want to engage with this.
Okay, so do you want to step in then and actually carry on for the narration while Ming runs away from the snakes?
Yeah, I would like to, but I want to. I'm not sure what I can offer.
Okay, don't worry about the offer yet. Just take up the actual narrative, and then when we get to the resolution point.
Sure. So your weapon is a rope. Yeah, I think it like slithers on like the silken robes that have been left behind, and I think like if you were to like pull it back and then swing it forward again, I would let it catch on my arm, and it like wraps like several times around it.
Quick question: Has Wu Hen heard the things that I've been saying? That the unfettered Frost assassins should lay down their weapons.
Yeah, I've heard both of what you.
Yes, she's heard both of what you've been actually saying, rather than what the hallucination is making you think has been said.
Okay.
Unless I can try to heal heal. I don't know. Anyway,
I
but
was
I
going to say, how does that make you feel, Wu Hen, that we're clearly both shouting about unfettered frost assassins, and you
Well,
can see none?
well, I think I know what's going on because I was like, this is the poison that makes you hallucinate. And clearly you're both hallucinating. So I'm going to stop you from attacking each other temporarily. And what I want to do is I'm going to, so it catches on my arm, but I think you're probably stronger than me. So when you pull back, I actually like I'm dragged forward. And when I like come right up to you, I'm going to hit your pressure points to, I don't know, like either knock you out or.
Okay, was that to heal then? To
Maybe.
actually to stop the flow of the poison and stop the hallucinations?
Maybe.
So in which case then that's an overcome, which you get an additional +1 for your 5 deadly venoms.
Okay. I feel like that's Earth because I need to focus.
Okay.
Okay, so that is just a 7.
Okay, so on a 7, the GM can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
Nice.
Okay.
Do it.
So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to have a look at the entanglements. Okay. Okay. When you hit him, you have to strike the heart. You have to strike his body in several different places to cure this. He will this will cause him agonizing pain in the process. And he will forever associate you with that pain. He will remember what you've done here today. And he will have dreams, he will have nightmares of this day. And in those dreams, it will be your face that delivers the pain.
I wonder how I am aware of that. Yeah, I think it's like right before I reach forward, there's like a flashback where I think of like the thing that I read up about like hitting pressure points to solve.
No, I think you've actually encountered this before.
Oh.
In fact, I think we cut back to one of the survivors from the actual, when you arrive back in the temple after the time, there was the remains of the monks there that had been exposed to this, and were in the process of dying, and you were trying to find out from them what was going on, what had actually happened.
Okay.
One was still alive.
Yeah, and I think when I just attempted this on them, and then as I was healing them, they grasped my arm, and they grasped it so hard that it like their fingers dug through my robes, and then like it left like a mark, like bloody mark down my arm, and that's what I remember.
And I think in that instance, the pain actually broke their sanity.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember that, and then and hit those pressure points.
Okay. So Zun, the clouds, the visions around you fade. And there's this perfect moment where you feel nothing. Your body is balanced. Your chi is aligned. Yin and yang are in perfect harmony. And then you feel a warmth in your chest. It just prickles for a few seconds. And then it's like every single nerve ending in your body is on fire. your body spasms. It tingles like electricity all over you. It arcs from nerve ending to nerve ending. A great howl comes from your chest as you cry out your pain and your anguish. And you fall to your knees. Your vision is cleared. But I'd like you to mark the wounded state, please. So you've been, the poison has been removed from your system, or at least slowed. You can see the world around you. It's not just yourself that's been affected by the poison. All around you, those who had gathered round to actually see the body have been affected as well. In fact, there's only one person standing stock still, upright, watching the situation. Curious look in her eye. Eyes which should be dead eyes. But here she stands in front of you. You see in the flickering fires at the edge of the camp the face of the woman who you found dead earlier, as she stares at you over the distance. I think you're muted, Paul.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I see Yang Ping.
Yes, you see Yang Ping.
I'm going to start. I'll raise myself from my knees. So how is the pain started to subside now?
The pain has started to subside, but it's a moment that will stay with you forever.
Okay, I'm going to start to sprint to the other side of the campsite where I see Yang Ping. I'm going to definitely dodge past any what I would have thought would have been assassins, but now clearly aren't. And I'm going to head towards Yang Ping.
And she turns and she runs. And she runs. And at this point, I think it's going to be safe to say that you can catch her.
Okay. Yeah, I shall attempt to catch Yang Ping.
Okay. So how do you catch her?
As I'm running, I'm going to start to build up some speed with my monkey fist rope. And when I am within range, I shall let leash the fist and aim it towards her feet in an attempt to trip her over.
And she goes down hard. She lands on the air hoof she was carrying, and it crushes under her. And you can see a blue liquid actually seep out from little packets that were inside the sound box.
Okay, but it still looks like Yang Ping, does it?
It still looks like Yang Ping.
Very well. I shall attempt to bind Yang Ping with my rope and then drag her back towards the camp.
As you drag her, you notice the wig that she's wearing gets pulled off.
Okay. What's underneath?
What's underneath is a unremarkable woman, but you can tell now definitely this isn't Yang Ping. Yeah, I know. I haven't timed this the best, Agatha. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, Alan. I will get to you in a few moments. So you drag her off, and this woman is obviously not Yang Ping.
Okay. Well, I'll drag her back towards the camp where me and my friends can interrogate this unremarkable woman.
Okay. And you have her in the camp, and when she sees Wu Hen, and she sees she sees Ming Starfall, and you all gather round, and her eyes are wide. You can see a drop of blue on her lips. There's splotches the splotches of the poison that got on her,
Okay.
and you can tell that she's seeing visions herself. You can ask, each of you get to ask her one question, which she will answer.
I must admit, I'm still. What happened to Ming Starfall? Ming Starfall was poisoned, started going a bit mad, dropped her clothes off. I took a wound.
And I didn't kill her.
Yeah, I took a wound from Wu Hen, got cured, and Ming Starfall seems to. Yeah, I'm confused.
Okay, what did happen to Ming Starfall? Sorry, you're quite right. Ming Starfall ran away. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused now myself. So, Ming, what happened to you after you slipped away from the snakes?
Well, I'm still really worried about my friends. I think I'm imagining that I'm running around camp feeling threatened by a bunch of unfettered frost that I see everywhere, and maybe snakes and other such. And I'm looking for my friends. I'm looking for Wu Hen. I'm looking for Zan.
Okay. So the poison's still going through your system. So as you look around, this isn't a very big dose that you got. So I don't think it lasts a huge long amount of time. So you come to your senses, and you come back into the camp, and everywhere around you there's desolation. There are dead bodies lying everywhere from the common folk who've been affected by the actual poison.
And at this point I feel like I've come to my senses, so this is real.
Yes.
Okay. Well, do I see anyone alive among the devastation?
Yes, you can see Wu Hen and I have to keep on looking this up. Sorry, Unending Sky Zan.
Oh my God!
Standing over a body.
I'll tell you a quick trick I did. I put small post-it notes just below everybody's face on Hangouts with their characters' names.
Yeah, I've got a board up here that's got all the other characters on. Unfortunately, I forgot to write yours on. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Okay. So, well, actually, one thing I wanted to come forward. Last week, I offered to run into February for people, and people seem to be okay with that. Is that still something people wanted to do, or?
So what? I'm sorry again. What was that?
I offered to run the game into February for people on the last stream.
I mean, gentlemen, genuinely, don't worry about Ling. I'll settle for an epilogue.
Okay. Well, we are getting close on time. I don't think we're gonna wrap this up within the 10 minutes we have left. So at this point, do each of the characters want to go around and give us their epilogue for the game, and we'll go forward. We'll actually say what the rest of the story was at closing out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with Wu Hen.
Okay. This is like so many actual Chinese dramas where they just end and they're like, oh, wait for part 2, and part 2 never comes. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So we went to like the ending song on this scene where we're all like just like standing around this corpse, right? I think epilogue for Wu Hen is that I'm not sure, to be honest. Could I get some time to think about it?
Yeah, by all means. So Ming Starfall. What's your epilogue?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of details, so I'll just like imagine that certain things are going to happen, and I am seeing that at some point there is a wedding up on the mountain in the Unfettered Frosts compound, and that there is as a centerpiece of this wedding is on display the golden dragon, and there is some equivalent in the ceremony where they ask, does anyone object to this matrimony? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And then, like, swinging down, sort of like a like a Silk's aerial performer, Ming comes tumbling down from the sky over the assembled crowd and brings forth this glowing saber, a replica of the centerpiece golden dragon, and this one is giving off a glowing golden light. Well, and I'll just well,
that too much? That's the thing about sabers. They're often used paired.
They're often what?
They're often used paired.
Ah, nice. So, and I'll just leave that scene there, and I'll let anyone else pick up from that.
Okay. Point. So, Paul.
Yeah, my Unending Sky Zen. You'll see him sat round the campfire here tonight. A lot later on, with his two friends and large quantities of bodies, and we're just gonna be drinking and singing songs for the dead.
Okay, excellent. Agatha, have you had enough time?
I do have it now. So this is like almost immediately after after Ming Starfall drops the other saber, and then like when that saber is dropped, so that one is glowing, and then the one that's on display glows as well. And then when they become parallel to each other, they spin and they form I don't know how to explain this in English, but it's basically like the thing, it's like Art of War stuff where you set out, I should have Googled this, Google translated it beforehand, but it's like, they're called 阵法 in Chinese, but it's like a maze that you walk through, and you set it up like with different aspects that has to do with also like sort of like related to feng shui. Feng shui kind of came out of that, but it's like they formed this thing, and it's like everyone becomes trapped within. It's like, oh, what does that look like visually? I think it's like everyone is like, wait, what happened? And then every time they walk forward, it's like they're invisible blades trying to, that would like strike at them. And this is like, that's the Zhenfa. And then I think the last that you see of Wuhan is that she draws her blade, and begins fighting these invisible swords with her Wave of the Rising Dragon. And I think this is when the production company spent some fat bucks on the CGI, where it's like a lot of like graphics with like the Wave of the Rising Dragon. There's like water dragon, and then there's like golden dragon, and they're like battling each other like in the sky or whatever. Anyway, so that's where you last see.
Excellent. And Alan, well-worn Ling. You get to close that. You get to close out the series,
and of course, well-worn Ling and his bride are observing, and they observe that Merciless Scorpion is sucked into this vortex of blades clashing, flashing, dragons fighting, and is killed. And the dragon sabers remain locked in this semi-ethereal maze in the center of the Castle of the Unfettered Frost, waiting for other heroes to retrieve them, leaving Ling and Unforgiving Viper.
But it's not Unforgiving Viper, because when the mask comes off as part of it, It is actually Hateful Spider.
Oh,
Oh.
well, happily, I kill him. But because it's after the wedding ceremony, I ascend to the throne of Unfettered Frost, which is in the middle of an eternally frozen lake.
And a darkness covers the land. And we'll end it there, I think.